Hi guys, it's Panicos Euripides, again Windsor Grange. Today we're going to be talking about process for how we acquire a commercial property to run a business. It could be a shop that you're looking for, it could be a studio, an office, industrial unit, anything like that. But a lot of people are asking, well, what's the process, what's involved, that kind of thing, timescales, who do I need to involve, instruct, advisors, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try and explain it in visual terms because I'm more of a visual person, so I kind of get it a little bit better that way. So we'll give it a go. So we're going to start off with you. Okay, pretty simple. Now at that point you're going to be looking for something. You might have nailed down an area. You're going to start looking at some properties. So look at some properties. And then you're going to shortlist, let's say one property. And then what do you do then? Well, firstly, you can find someone to help you find the right properties to begin with. So you can find somebody at that point to start shortlisting, for you to have a look at, or you can do that yourself, or you can jump straight to that point there. At that point, you're going to ideally instruct a surveyor to negotiate the heads of terms for you. Okay, so you will end up with a surveyor, if you like that, to negotiate the heads of terms, which we talked about in the past. Those are the main bones of the deal. At that point, once the heads of terms are agreed, this is the important bit, you're then going to instruct your solicitor. Okay, so we're going to say tenant's solicitor, and the landlord's going to instruct his solicitor. Okay, and the heads of terms are going to go to each party. Okay, at that point they're going to do their thing, finalise the terms of the lease, dot the I's, cross the T's, and then it's going to go back into here where you're going to get the final lease, and then it's done. Now, what do you kind of need to make all that happen? Well, there are different stages that you can appoint people, but my recommendation is always, as early as possible, get your surveyor on board and a solicitor on board. They're the two main things that I would always advise. So from there, or from there, or even, when you're at that stage, when you're shortlisting, at that point, just try and get the solicitor and the surveyor on board so they're ready to go. So you're not wasting time once you've found the right property. Okay, once you've found the right property, ideally you'd have someone that can recommend some other skilled services. So, you could have a building surveyor to do your survey, you could have planning, and you can have any other number of things. And usually the surveyor is probably the best person to recommend those people. So at that point they can recommend, get your power team kind of set up essentially. But ideally, again, if you're appointing early on in the process, then they can make the recommendations and put you in touch with those professionals as early on as possible, just to maximise your position so you're not losing time when you find the right property. Then you're good to go. But that's the general process that you'd go through, and if you want it to go as smooth as possible, as quickly as possible, and not lose out on that perfect property, then engage with those two parties as high up that chain as possible. Hope you found that helpful. Any questions, drop me a note. Happy to do some Q&A, and see you here again soon.